Here, we'll work on creating and editing ellipses and circles. So I've got the bowl shape from our last project. First, I'm going to go up to View and make sure that my Smart Guides are on. Just click that if there's no check mark by it, but make sure your Smart Guides are on, and that will help us with our measurements. Next, I'll go to the Rectangle tool, click and hold it, and choose the Ellipse tool. Somewhere on the artboard, I'll click, hold, and drag from left to right, and in the tool tip, we have our measurements, and I want to drag to make an ellipse that has an approximate width of 0.6 inches and a height of 0.75 inches. So I'll work on the width first, and then I'll drag down until I get a height of about 0.75 inches. So there's my ellipse. And now I'll move my cursor just below that ellipse, click, hold, and start dragging to create a circle. And with our Smart Guides on, we'll see horizontal and vertical lines that tell us when we have a circle. And we want the circle to be about 1 inch in its height and width. So there I've got a circle there. Now I'm going to get my selection tool and drag a marquee selection around both of those objects. I'll open up my properties panel, and down at the bottom I'll click the group button, and that has now grouped those two objects into a single object. With those objects selected, I'll click the color fill box to bring up the swatches panel, and I'll choose a nice bright green. This is going to be our pear in our fruit bowl. I'll click away somewhere to deselect it, and I'll go back and get the ellipse tool. And this time when I click, hold, and drag, I'm going to hold down the Shift key, which will constrain this ellipse to a circle. And I want a circle of approximately 0.7 inches wide and high. So now that I've got my circle, I want to duplicate it. So with the ellipse tool still selected, I'll click on the center point, hold down my Alt key or the Option key on a Mac, and drag to the right. And that will duplicate that circle. And I want it to overlap a little bit. So there I duplicated the circle. Now I want to create another circle by drawing it. I'm going to move my cursor over to the left edge of that left circle until I see the word anchor. And I'll click, hold, and drag down and to the right until I see a magenta line on the right-hand side of the circle, knowing that that aligns it with that right-hand circle. Now, see the widget on the right there? I'm going to click, hold, and drag that over to the left. That creates kind of pie shapes. I don't need to worry about the exact angle just now. I'm going to refine that in the transform area by clicking the More Options button. And in the pie start angle, I'll click the drop-down menu and just choose 180. And there I've created a half circle. I'll get my selection tool and click, hold, and drag that half circle up so that it overlaps the center of those two circles. And this will be our apple shape. With my selection tool, I'll select all of those shapes, click on the Fill color box, and choose a nice bright red. Now I want to duplicate that half circle, so with my selection tool, I'll select that half circle and press down my Alt key on a PC or the Option key on a Mac and drag out. So I've duplicated that shape. Now I'll zoom in on the bottom shape of our bowl. And we had left that with no stroke on it, but I'm going to get my selection tool and select it, and I'll add a stroke. Excuse me, I need to select the color box to bring up the swatches panel. I'll just put a stroke on it of some other color brown. And that's overlapping the other shape a little bit. And I want to choose the Align Stroke to the Inside. Normally, strokes are aligned to the outside. But this way, if I align the stroke to the inside, that will make sure it doesn't overlap that other shape. So there we've used the ellipse tool to create a kind of pear shape and an apple and another shape which we'll use in another video.